Good morning, friends. This is Gardner Israel, the old fisherman. Gonna do a little review on this setup I've got here. This is called a uh, CU200 Shimano Bantam Curado. Little bait casting reel. Can't complain much about it because somebody gave it to me. A friend of mine gave it to me. And I've used it a little bit. I'm not really that familiar with bait casting reels. I don't know how this flashlight looks on it, but I'm here in my kind of dark office. But I didn't know what a nice one it was when it was given to me, and I've done a little research on it and found out that this is a pretty fairly expensive outfit. But as far as what I think of it, um, like I said, I've never had a bait casting type before. I've always used the open face deals. I had a little bit of trouble with it to start with casting, a little bit of backlash on it, and I put some I think about an 8 pound braid line on this thing. Um, it won't cast out stuff very light, a light. It wants to have a little bit of weight on it, in my opinion. It seems to be that it doesn't cast as far as an open face reel, but apparently it has some advantages over a spinning reel. Apparently you have more control over your casting because you can put your thumb here when your lure gets about where you want it to be, and it'll cast. You can stop it. You can gently touch it and make it stop. They say that the better bass fishermen use these type of reels, but I notice a lot of people using the open face too. But I've fished with it a couple of times, and I'm sure that it will have its purposes. I remember years ago my grandmother, Gardner, and this is years ago, this is like 50 or more years ago, was a big fisherman. They lived up in Atlanta, Georgia, and they used to go to the lakes and maybe at one time even ran some kind of little marina, and they had lots of reels around their house like this, these bait casting reels. So that was what was going on back in the 1940s and all, when those things would have been used. But this is my excuse for a review of the Shimano Bantam Curado. I think they've made some advancements on these things. I don't know how old this one is, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years old, and it's just recently been used. There's a mechanism over here on the side that you adjust the spool tightness. There's some little, I'll show you that. I think like I said, I think they've made advancements on that through the years here since this was made, but this has you have to pull this off to adjust it. This has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plastic. I think they're centrifugally operated, and if you want less spin, you push these things out and they touch this rim in here, this brass rim here. And if you want lighter spin, you push these in. You got to put your fingernail. See, that one goes in. Put your fingernail on it and push it in. Push it in right there. That one went in. If you want 3 of them out, or if you want all 6 of them out, and that's how that works right there. Alright, that's about all I can tell you about this thing here. I'm one of the least knowledgeable experts on this kind of thing, but I'm telling you the best I can on that. Now I'm going to tell you about another. This is my fishing equipment here. This is what I try to catch fish with. Now I want to tell you about another piece of equipment that I use. Okay, I'm going to turn this flashlight off. Alright, I'm also another kind of fisherman. I'm a fisher of men. This is what I use to catch fish with, but I'm going to show you my bait and my tackle for catching the other kind of fish that I fish for. And this is my tackle box right here. This is called the Holy Bible, and this is called the New King James Version. And I call myself a fisher of men because this book right here instructs people that believe this book to become fishers of men. And the bait that I say, this is my tackle box right here, and it's full of bait. And the bait that's in this is actually words. And I'm going to read some of those words and see if this bait attracts any of you guys out there, which I will call the fish out there in video land. And this is from the book of John, and it's John 10:24. And I'm just going to read this little thing. Now this guy here that's saying all this stuff, this is Jesus. And this is what John 10:24 says. Then the Jews surrounded him and said to him, "How long do you keep us in doubt? If you are the Christ, tell us plainly." Jesus answered them, "I told you, and you do not believe. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. But you do not believe because you are not of my sheep. As I said to you, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall anyone snatch them out of my hand. My Father, who has given them to me, is greater than all, and no one is able to snatch them out of my Father's hand." This is the big one right here. I and my Father are one. Jesus, whose real name, by the way, was Yeshua, said, "I and my Father are one." Same thing, they're one. So Yeshua is saying here that there's a certain number of sheep out there, which are also sometimes referred to as fish, that belong to him. And that there's no way that those that belong to him are going to be snatched away from him. Some of you guys out there in video land may belong to him and may not know it. So if this sounds like you'd like to be in, if this strikes a chord with you somehow, check this out. Get in here in this Bible, in this Holy Bible, in this New Testament part of it, and read up on what Yeshua the Messiah, otherwise known as Jesus Christ, had to say. It just may be that you're one of those sheep that belong to him. And guess what he's going to do? He says, I will give them eternal life, that they shall never perish. Boy, wouldn't that be something? Eternal life. Don't think that God couldn't do that. Think about it. If he can give you life, the life that we know about, well, why couldn't he even do better than that? Give you eternal life. So I kind of would like to apologize for my review of the Shimano reel, because I kind of use that as a hook to get people to tune to what I'm talking about. I do like to fish, and I like to talk about fishing equipment, but it's pretty obvious that I'm no expert on it. But this is my way of trying to reach some of you guys. And yes, I do love to fish, and I know you guys love to fish too. And we can fish. And I can also fish for men. As Yeshua said, I will make you fishers of men. All right. This is my way of getting to you. I hope I've helped, and I hope maybe this has caused some of you to think about this. This is Gardner Israel, the old fisherman, signing off.